The film starts with Charlie, who is in a rowing competition for his school with his brother Sam. They pull ahead of their competitors and are hailed as the champions. Following the race, Connors informs Charlie that his good fortune won't protect him again and promises to defeat him. Sam shows off his badge to Connors before the two siblings depart. As usual, once the evening cannon shoots off at sundown, Sam and Charlie observe the vessels moored at their port and fantasize about journeying the globe side by side on a boat. During Charlie's graduation, he receives a scholarship for being the captain of the school's rowing team, which his classmates and friends applaud. Later, Sully informs him that he and Green are deploying to the naval base next week, and he invites Charlie to attend their goodbye party. Later, following the evening cannon blast, Charlie assures Sam that each day after work, when the cannon sounds, he will dedicate an hour to practicing baseball with him, so Sam can eventually join his dream team. However, there's a single requirement. Sam can't ever be tardy. He must arrive promptly each and every day. Sam says yes, and the siblings start their practice routine. That evening, Charlie's mom, held up at work for an additional shift, requests him to look after Sam. She hurries away to get on the bus, leaving Charlie to make Sam's meal. However, Charlie slips away to go to his friend's goodbye gathering, only to encounter Sam, who requests a ride to a friend's place so they can view a baseball match together. During the car ride, the siblings discuss Charlie's departure from town to attend college on a scholarship. Charlie tells Sam he will always be there for him. Their light-hearted chat becomes noisy, but Charlie promptly calms it down with his firm, older brother authority. A short time later, their vehicle is hit in a terrible crash, as they were not paying attention to a reckless driver following them. When the ambulance gets there, Charlie sees a vision of Sam, hurt and begging him to stay. Following multiple electric jolts from the paramedics, Charlie comes back to life, just to discover that Sam passed away. He's the sole survivor. At Sam's burial, following the speech, Charlie declines to give up his brother's baseball mitt. Feeling too much, he departs. When he hears the cannon, he dashes into the woods as memories of the accident overwhelm him. Overwhelmed with sadness, he collapses until he abruptly spots Sam in front of him, recalling their agreement. Charlie insists he remembers, promising to see Sam each night following the cannon blast to rehearse for 60 minutes. 5 years on, Charlie's life is entirely different. He currently has a job at the graveyard where his sibling is interred. After chasing away a group of annoying geese and checking the area, he meets up with his colleague Alistair, who teases that the geese probably have a personal grudge against Charlie, even damaging the headstone. He indicates the ringleader bird as evidence. Charlie asks Alistair to his anniversary celebration, encouraging him to find someone fresh and escape his boring daily life. At that moment, Charlie sees a mad young lady coming closer. Tess, very angry, insists Alistair cut the flowers at her father's burial site. However, upon seeing Charlie, her voice becomes gentler, and she courteously reiterates her plea before departing. While Charlie is still working, he runs into Sully at the graveyard, having not seen him in a long time. Charlie says his mom went to Portland and Green is also buried there now. Observing Charlie carefully, Alistair understands that he's talking to an unseen person, which strengthens his doubt that Charlie is completely rational. Sully finally says goodbye to Charlie, even though Charlie has been standing next to Sully's tombstone the entire time. His former companions, it appears, did not return from the conflict. Afterward, Charlie visits a shop to purchase a plaything. The women at the register are impressed by his appearance, but Charlie ignores their flirting, pays for his items, and exits. He takes his baseball mitt and sphere, and when the cannon shoots, goes into the woods for his everyday encounter with Sam. Following practice and sharing details of his day, Charlie informs Sam that he unexpectedly met Sully and that this meeting caused him to long for Green even more. Yet he confesses he's thankful to observe his sibling daily, a private matter only they share. When the geese come back, Charlie flies his new remote control plane to frighten them away. However, following a series of goose retaliations, he and Sam plunge, giggling into the water. Charlie understands his time is finished. His little brother isn't with him anymore, so he goes home by himself. The following day, by coincidence, he encounters the EMT who rescued him from the vehicle accident years prior. Florio asks him to join her for coffee and a conversation. At the eatery, Charlie observes Florio's delicate condition. He is fighting cancer and has already experienced the majority of his life. Florio explains to Charlie that his continued existence occurred for a purpose and that he must alter his direction, grasp the chance he's received, and not confine his life to the graveyard where he is employed. As Charlie walks out, a beautiful sailboat catches his eye. News reporters are reporting on a coming transoceanic competition, and he discovers that Tess is one of the participants. With fans pressing in, wanting to hear her opinions, Tess is seen as the top contender to win. When the evening cannon sounds, Charlie abandons his tasks and rushes to the forest to inform Sam about Tess. Drawing inspiration from her vessel and the elegant shape of a whale's tail, he drafts his own design and goes to the harbor to perfect it. There he meets Alistair, who asks him to come to their anniversary party. At the gathering, Alistair's spouse attempts to pair Charlie with Rachel, but the effort failed. Charlie is surprised when Connors, who he hasn't seen in a long time, appears and urges him to come for drinks. At the same time, Tess is at the same coffee shop with Tink, who is her coach and stepfather, looking at the weather forecast. Tink cautions that the conditions are not suitable for training, but Tess maintains she requires the practice prior to the race and will avoid the storm. Connors continues to urge Charlie to have a drink, but Charlie sees Tess close by and steps away. Connors teases him about the accident, making Charlie lose his temper. Furious, Charlie pushes Connors over and rushes away. Later, when inspecting Tess' boat, he encounters her and says sorry for how he acted. They complain together about Connor acting like a jerk, and Tess shares that she actually attended high school with Charlie. She's been aware of him the whole time. Charlie presents his drawing to her, detailing his thoughts on enhancing her boat's structure. She looks at the picture in his notebook. Charlie wishes her good fortune in the competition before departing. The following day, Tess reviews the weather forecast again with her coach. Even though Tink told her to avoid the storm, Tess purposely sailed into it. She wanted to challenge herself in difficult conditions before the main competition. Later, Charlie informs Sam about the trans-oceanic competition, stating he could easily be victorious, but will not participate because Sam is his top priority. The siblings engage in their typical messy activities in the downpour, giggling and relishing the experience. After scaring away some geese, Charlie sees Tess close by. She explains that she was caught in the storm the previous night and ended up sleeping near her father's tombstone. Charlie brings her back to his place and cares for her injuries. Intrigued, Tess inquires why he never went back to sailing following his brother's passing. Charlie avoids the question, stating he will inform her later. She tells him she'll be gone from the city for half a year because of the race, then depart. Figuring out how much time is left before the cannon fires, Charlie quickly asks Tess to come to his place for dinner before he goes into the woods. While practicing with Sam, he mentions the dinner arrangement. Later that night, while eating and drinking, Tess requests Charlie to give her his drawing of the sailboat as a present for when she gets back from the race. As Charlie moves to kiss her, she shifts the conversation, responding to his query about her limp. During the tempest, she was tossed across the ship's deck and hurt. In the end, Charlie kisses her regardless. However, Tess steps away, stating she must stay concentrated on the competition. She won't meet him again for half a year, and she cannot afford to be mentally sidetracked. She departs suddenly. A short while later, someone taps on the door. Tess tells Charlie to meet her in the woods. He trails her, and in the shadows, they hug, spending an intense night side by side. Charlie reveals the marks on his chest are from the defibrillator jolts that brought him back to life. Tess thinks they are lovely. They drift off to sleep, holding each other. Charlie awakens the following morning to find a goose snuggled up beside him. Tess has put a note on the door, telling him to come and find her. He agrees, and for the first time in ages, Charlie gets on a sailboat once more, heading out with Tess toward the sea. As the sun goes down from the top of the watchtower, Tess reads a lovely poem to Charlie and invites him to be part of her race team, but he says no. When the cannon goes off, Charlie tells her to go back to the cabin and hurries into the woods, getting there just in time to prevent his brother from departing. Sam faces him, stating he believes Charlie's affection for him has started to lessen, that without Charlie, he feels hollow and unseen. Charlie states firmly that this will never occur, that he will forever be by his younger brother's side. Then all at once, he understands Tess has trailed him and listened in on his talk with Sam's ghost. Charlie talks about the agreement he and Sam made and informs Tess that he cannot leave his brother behind. Even though she begged him to exit the woods with her, he told her to return home and move on from him. The following day, during a stroll, Tess observes something peculiar. Her image is gone from the looking glass. Meanwhile, Charlie, while having coffee at his house, listens to a police broadcast. Tess' vessel got stuck in a tempest 3 days prior, and nobody has heard from her since then. In a panic, he hurries to get his boat going, but then sees it's already past the point of no return. Instead, he visits Tess' father's burial site, where he tells him that her ship never came back and that she is currently stuck in limbo. Tess implores Charlie to locate her and asks for his assistance, but he starts crying and she vanishes. Overwhelmed by sorrow, Charlie destroys his home. When the cannon goes off, he retreats into the woods and explains to Sam what occurred. His sibling reassures him. Afterward, as Charlie tidies up the debris, Florio's spouse arrives at his house. She informs him that her husband has died, and before he passed, Florio requested she give Charlie his Star of David necklace. Florio thought Charlie was special, destined to rescue another person. Looking at the necklace, Charlie sees Tess writing concealed within it. Recalling Florio's statement, he understands Tess is still living and that he needs to locate her before time runs out. Charlie pleads with Tess's stepfather, Tink, for permission to use his vessel to look for her. Tink declines, calling him crazy. However, when Tink departs to do chores, Charlie takes the ship with assistance from Alistair. Tink gets there right as the ship is leaving, very angry, but Alistair stops him. After Charlie explains where Tess could be, Tink hesitantly chooses to believe him. They then headed off in the direction of the coordinates. After 16 hours on the water, Tink tells Charlie to take a break. As Charlie moves to the back of the ship, the sun sets, and when the cannon shoots, Sam understands his brother will not be arriving that evening. Charlie says sorry to Sam, assuring him they will always be like brothers. Sam grins, waves farewell, and decides to exit the in-between. He turns into light. At last, a sense of calm after half a decade. Following the path of a comet, which Sam sent as a signal, Charlie directs the vessel towards the debris. There they discover parts of Tess' submerged boat. Even though Alistair strongly cautioned about the icy water and bad weather, Charlie jumps in to rescue her. Pushing through the broken ship, slammed against the stones, he makes his way into a cavern and at last finds her. He embraces Tess, saving her from the edge. They both make it out alive. Later at the hospital, Alistair shares what the doctor said. Tess was rescued. At a later point, Charlie pilots his old vessel to Tess's residence. Following their conversation about her healing, he invites her to go back into the water together. Tess pauses, stating that while she was in limbo, she experienced clear dreams with Charlie. Visions that seemed more vivid than reality itself. Charlie explains to her that those weren't dreams, but actual memories. To show he means it, he repeats the exact poem she had read to him from the watchtower before. Tess understands it's real, her eyes welling up. Finally, she agrees to Charlie's offer. They then embarked on a voyage, prepared to discover